The legislative session on Beacon Hill hits the halfway point, and lawmakers will head into the new year with unfinished business.
This is about democracy being at stake in Massachusetts and across our nation.
Both chambers taking heat from the auditor, energy costs squeezing consumers, and World Cup funding falling short of what the governor wanted.
And I will continue to support efforts to make sure that we're able to put on a really, really great show for people.
This morning, Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka goes on the record about achievements this year and the road ahead.
From WCVB Channel 5, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, November 23rd. I'm Ann Harding.
I'm Charmin Sacchetti, and joining us at the table, Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka. She has led the chamber since 2018. She is a Democrat representing the Middlesex and Norfolk District. Thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Madam President, thank you for coming in. So let's start with the Massachusetts lawmakers heading into this now, 6-week recess. It wrapped up a number of spending bills, but there is still work to be done, as there always is, right? Higher home energy bills are coming now that the cold weather is here. Consumers are regularly frustrated and don't think that the state has paid enough attention to energy affordability. So how are you lowering costs for customers in a meaningful way?
Well, for energy, we are looking at that. The governor filed a bill, and we're looking forward to taking that up. We are affordability, actually, in general, is really an important concept and an important thing for the Senate. Most of our work is focused on affordability, access, whether it be energy, healthcare, education, whatever, making things more affordable for the average person here in Massachusetts.
And given the president's resistance to wind and solar, is Massachusetts going to meet its 2030 climate goals?
Well, I think we still need to continue working. Just like students need goals, people need goals and lights, the Commonwealth needs goals as well. Climate is an issue that we should not be backing off from. Everywhere I go, particularly, I'd say the 16, 18-year-olds to 40, 45-year-olds, this is their future. This is their planet, and we cannot back off. We need to make sure that there's a planet, a safe planet, not only for them, but for their children and their grandchildren and ours as well. There's no plan B. We need to keep our foot on the pedal. We need to be practical and reasonable, but I think, and the Senate has led in terms of these issues for both on affordability and climate, and I believe that we can do both.
Well, you know, these state programs that go toward the climate goals, like Mass Save, they are expensive, and people in that age range that you just mentioned are having a tough time staying here in Massachusetts because it's so expensive to live here. Do you think lawmakers need to curtail some of these programs like Mass Save? There was a House bill that would have done that, but is effectively no more, essentially.
Right. I think we definitely need to take a look at it. I mean, sometimes when programs are started, they make sense at the time, but our lifestyles, our economy, everything is fluid and it changes. So I think it's important, and the Senate has consistently picked up things and taken another look at it, tweaked it, changed it, just like we did the cannabis reform this week. We made some changes to make it so that it continues to be a thriving economy that it has equity in it and really helps our residents.
Do you think you expect some changes to the Mass Save program to make things more affordable?
We'll take a look. I mean, I know, the governor's bill is still, I think, in committee or about to get out, and I'm looking forward to, we've started discussions about these issues already, clearly, and I think we do definitely need to take a look at it.
Will there be an energy bill?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah.
But that's not a yes, but you hope so. It's a hope so.
Yeah. I mean, the governor has her bill in committee. I don't know what's happening with the House bill, and we will take a look at these issues as well.
Do you think lawmakers sense the urgency coming from people who are looking at their bills right now and saying, wow, look at these delivery rates?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we hear this from people all over, from our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones, ourselves. We're very aware of it. And so that's why I think it is a priority for all of us.
All right. State Auditor Diana DiZoglio has expressed her frustrations with both you and House Speaker Ron Mariano for not cooperating with her effort to audit the legislature. Now she's behind a new ballot question that would open legislative leaders and the governor up to the public records laws. Here's a listen to what she said just a few days ago.
Even if we win over 159 legislators, if the Speaker says no, nope. Speaker rules and reigns the state of Massachusetts, just like a king. Senate President rules and reigns over Massachusetts, just like a queen.
What's your response to that?
She has no idea what happens in the Senate. And that's very
Well, she's
unfortunate,
a former senator.
which she still has no idea, or she's totally forgotten, to be honest with you. Our agenda in the Senate comes from discussions, meetings from the senators themselves. They take a hold of the bills. For example, we just, as I mentioned, did the Cannabis Control Commission bill reform. Senator Adam Gomez, Senate Chair of the Cannabis Committee, did a fantastic job. He's been working on this for more than a year, meeting with people, meeting with advocates, meeting with people involved in the field, and he led the charge on the floor of the Senate. He's the one that worked on amendments with the sponsors, trying to get it through, and he did a great job. That is what happens in the Senate. The senators are empowered. We spend hours and hours in caucus talking about bills and issues. I never shut down the caucus. It ends when people stop talking. So it's unfortunate that she just doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, let me ask you, most states, including the governor's office, the legislative leaders, are subject to open records laws, to public records. Is it time for your office, for the governor's office, for the speaker's office to be subject to open records laws?
Again, you know, I haven't looked at the language in the ballot initiative. That we certainly will. We certainly will, and take a look and see how that may or the language may or may not fit in.
To the issue of the audit, which kind of like hangs there like this, voters voted for it overwhelmingly. Why is it not in practice?
Several reasons. First of all, along the way, the voters were not told that we already do an audit. We have been doing an annual audit by a certified, non-political public accountant that does the audit on their own, and when it's done, we post it online. So anybody, including the auditor, can go on the Senate Clerk's website and see our annual audits. In addition, we post all of our invoices, our procedures, our purchases, our salaries, all of our financial information is on the comptroller's website. So if she wanted to do something, she could take a look at that stuff. Anybody could take a look at it, and it's there to see. It's totally transparent. We have really worked hard to increase transparency. I'm really proud of the rules that we ended up changing this year. For many, many years, the Senate was pushing to have all of our votes online, committee public testimony, and summaries online. That now exists, so we have become much more transparent. The Senate every Monday posts on all social media the week ahead, the hearings, so that people know what hearings, what issues are going to be discussed and debated, and we're continually doing more.
But when people don't hear you say, yes, the governor's office, the legislative leader should be subject to open records laws, period, they wonder why. What would you say to them?
Well, I think that we need to take a look at the language. I mean, we do a lot of policy and we do a lot of things, a lot of areas, but we will take a look at it.
We are with the Senate President, and we are on the record this morning. Stay with us.